Hello, and I'm gonna just talk really quickly to you about the explanation of benefits, what it is, what you should pay attention to, why this piece of paper is important, and how you can really utilize this. Quick story, recently I have decided to make my health a priority. It's something that I talk to you all about, and it's something that I'm doing myself. It takes a lot of work. And to understand and use your benefits to make that a priority also takes a lot of work. Recently, I found out that our insurance offers preventatively seeing a registered dietitian to get your nutrition in order and figure out how to align what you're eating and what, weight management, all that good stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff to it. But they provide us with a certain number of visits per year. And I went to the first one, really liked my registered dietitian, had some other issues, decided to change, went to another one that actually is encompassed in a hospital facility, and received a bill, a full bill. And I was like, well, I called and, oh, you didn't, you haven't met your deductible. And I was like, okay, something doesn't sound right, but sure, I know I haven't, because I've been using my preventative services. Ugh. Anyway, I went ahead and called back because I was like, wait, hold on. I used this service earlier in the year, didn't receive a bill in the mail, everything was taken care of. What is going on? And it was really important because I had not seen the explanation of benefits. They sent me out the explanation of benefits, and that's when it dawned on me, when I saw the explanation of benefits. So in an explanation of benefits, there are so many different pieces to the puzzle. I actually do a workshop on it that later on in the year, probably next month, I'll do a workshop on it, and it'll go through different examples of explanation of benefits because they all look different, but you really want to hone in on a few things. So there's some terminology that you should know. Provider, data service, a DOS. The service being provided, they sometimes call it a diagnosis code, a ICD-10 code, and there's a procedural code. So those are the three different things. And then I'm trying to think also, there's a whole bunch of stuff on there. So you have to know what to focus on and what's the distraction. So for me, with the scenario that I was just talking about, with the having to pay to see a registered dietitian when I know that it's a preventative paid service that I shouldn't have to pay for out of pocket, one thing that I focused on was, okay, what was the code that they used for the service that they provided me, right? And how is this code different because I already have this service on my profile because I've used it. How is that different from what they bill for this time? And then another thing is, how do you use it as a tool? For me right now, as I'm going through this process of getting them to resubmit the claim with the proper information, that's the tool. It's a tool to have the claim resubmitted, to be able to show both my insurance company and the provider that I'm using now, I've used this service. So the way you all billed it is incorrect, because if it was billed this way, then I wouldn't have to pay for it. I'm not incurring any additional out-of-pocket expenses. Another way that it could be used as a tool is to keep track of the services that you're being provided, how much they cost, right? Sometimes what I've had happen is with clients, the provider will bill the client one thing and they'll bill the insurance something else, and which is insurance fraud, and you'll see a difference in pay scale. So when you call the insurance and you're like, oh, well, they billed me $250 when they billed the insurance $560, the insurance has, and this is a slippery slope, but the insurance can then take that information and negotiate that contract with that provider, and then also prove to you and the provider that this service was already paid for. The explanation of benefits also shows you what your responsibility is, right? You can take that information because it'll say the provider billed $500. We paid $250. The allowed amount is $250, and you now owe your copay, right? So your copay could be, and it says you may owe your copay could be $50, your copay could be $100, your copay could be $10. So it'll tell you your copay. If there's a co-insurance on there, it'll tell you the co-insurance. So that's a way for you to track your expenses, your expenditures when it comes to your health. That's a way for you to keep track of the services that you are taking advantage of and being provided. And then that's also a way for you to track how much your providers are charging you for these services, right? So those are the couple tools. You can also use them to, when your explanation of benefits comes in, and let's say your provider's billing company bills you as if your insurance company did not pay for the service, you can go and you have the explanation of benefits showing, yes, my insurance company paid you on XYZ date, and here's proof of it. So you can actually repeal, right, a bill that's already been taken care of. You can use it to kind of counterclaim with the billing company, because a lot of providers are not billing themselves. They pay these third-party companies to do this for them, and they make mistakes. So you can use it as your proof of what's already been taken care of and what you should be paying out of pocket. Lastly, there's when claims are denied, right? You can use the explanation of benefits for claim denials when if you go for a service and your insurance provider says, this was, I'm trying to think of the terminology that I've seen before, but it's pretty much, this was outside of our allowable expenses or our allowable coverages. You can align that with the summary of benefits and say, well, in the summary of benefits, you're telling me that XYZ, I called on this date to confirm that this service, based upon the way that it would be billed, would be covered, and now the EoB is saying it was covered, but you're denying the benefit when the provider submits the claim. So those are the three ways that you could use it as a tool to help you keep track of, and as you're going through this journey of making your health a priority, it can be convoluted sometimes, and the records that you have, even if and God forbid, something happens and you get a bill for a service that was paid for 3 years ago, if you had an EoB showing as proof that this was taken care of, then you can always offset any collections or anything like that. So really short, the explanation of benefits is a great tool to maintain your health, keep track of what's being paid for, keep track of what your financial responsibilities are, and to also track your deductibles, where you are, because every time they send out an EoB or an explanation of benefits, they tell you this is where your deductible, this is how much you put towards your deductible, this is where you stand, this is what your family owes, and they can, if you get to the point where you've met your deductible and you're at 100%, then you can see that cost offset. Nice and quick. I do a webinar where I go into, as I said, in depth, this is what they look like. These are the terms, so that you better understand. This is, I even recommend steps for calling your insurance company when you have questions and things along that nature. So if you're interested in something like that, let me know. You can definitely DM me. I can send out the link, or you can, email me. info@kbcalls.com, info@kbcalls.com. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free, please ask. I do Instagram Live every Tuesday, even if the topic is about Mars, and you have questions about this video or something else that you watched that I've done. It's a great time. I don't mind, taking a step back and answering any questions that you may have. So thanks for watching, and take care. I'll see you later. Bye.